Hey, yo, man. Great conversation so far, man. Dave, let's move on to our next exercise. What we got?
All right, man. So the next workout, well, the next circuit, first exercise on the circuit is going to be dumbbell flies, floor dumbbell flies, rather. So the purpose of
All right.
being on the floor for this workout, man, when a lot of folks get on the bench, they tend to overextend with their flies and they go too far and they hurt themselves when they're trying to go heavy with flies. So when you're on the ground, you basically the floor is bracing your elbows. Okay, so you're basically
Okay.
doing the fly with dumbbells on the ground and just bringing them up. That's it, simple as that. And then the next exercise is going to be a medicine ball push-up. You're going to get a medicine ball push-up, and it's similar to the plate press. What you're going to do is you're going to be looking to try to squeeze the living shit out of this ball while you're doing push-ups, pretty much. And it's just simple as this. And if you can't do that, if you don't have a medicine ball, you can do the variant that Jared's doing, and you can do diamond push-ups and just go all the way down low to where you're touching your hands, your chest is touching your hands. Simple as that. And you want to make sure your elbows flare out. All right, that's simple as that, guys.
Right.
Nothing more
All
to
right.
it.
Y'all said.
And
Y'all said. Y'all
again,
said.
we're gonna be doing
That's
max
right.
rep. All right.
All right.
So do
Cool.
these
All right.
flies
So.
until you can't do no more.
All right. So. All right, D. So I can say you and D1. Can I say where you went?
Yeah.
All right. Where your head go? Oh, there you are. All right. You went. He went to the University of Buck, right? So what I want to know is why you didn't go play for HBCU, bro?
Um, Honestly, my honest opinion on that is, um, I'm not an all anything, right?
Woo!
Um,
Ooh, okay.
it depends on what your path is. It depends on what your journey is. It depends on what you want. A college is meant to give you the experience you're looking for, right? Um, and the experience I was looking for, I wasn't going to find at a HBCU, right?
Ooh.
I believe that HBCUs have their place, have their purpose, but just like an Ivy, just like a state school, just like a city school, just like a associate's junior college, you have to pick what's right for you. And for me, it wasn't an HBCU.
Makes sense. That makes sense.
It's a good question, though.
Dave, what you think about HBCUs, Dave?
What I think about all right, so you already know I'm a separatist, okay? I am about all everything. You understand what I'm saying? I am, and from the simple fact, you guys already know if you watch previous videos, but yeah, I believe in loving ourselves and actually doing things for ourselves to be able to be, you know what I'm saying? I guess, for lack of better terms, marketable, right? I think it's time for us to start looking at each other in a different light. So in order to do that, we have to unite, right? So the other thing is, as far as HBCUs, I'm about HBCUs if it's by us and for us, okay? I'm not with HBCUs if it's run by others. You know? Think about it like this, man. Can we go to another country and infiltrate and get into higher management and then hire our own kind? They won't allow that. You understand what I'm saying? Especially if it's for us, right? And you got to think of the origin of a lot of the HBCUs. A lot of like white philanthropists in the beginning basically set up these schools to make us good employees, right? So again, if the HBCU has the right goal in mind and it's for us and it's by us, I'm all for it. And on top of that, I think if we only offer sports and entertainment, why don't more blue chip athletes kind of assemble and go to these schools and make them relevant? You know what I mean?
That's what we
That's the
need,
Facilities,
biggest
right?
thing for me.
That's what we need.
facilities,
That's what we need. It's a
facilities and
facility.
finances. Facilities and
It's a catch
finances.
Well,
22.
I
It's a
mean, if
catch
we take a
And
22.
yo,
chance,
It's a
if
catch
we take the
22
chance,
because you need the athletic program in order to get the finances to fuel the facility. You know what I mean? So the athletes
right,
aren't going there because they don't have the finances in that facilities, but we need them there to boost up the program so we can eventually get the finances
right, chicken or the
and
egg, right?
facilities.
Chicken or the egg,
Yeah, yeah,
chicken or
yeah.
the egg,
It's,
right?
it's
no,
interesting
bro,
what you said, Dave. Go ahead.
bro, hold on. There's a lot of HBCUs. Let me take that back because I don't want to speak out of my ass. There are HBCUs out there with very wealthy alums, right?
Hmm.
Alumni give to what they care about. If your
Right.
HBCU doesn't care about athletics, they're going to give it to whatever program they care about. That's why Howard has good business school. That's why some schools have good other schools, right? Because people who go there give to what they care about. These schools don't care about athletics that much. I mean, they like football. Most people like football, right? But they're not getting a whole bunch of things. and these bands get money. You get scholarships to play on a band, which a lot of places don't. Right. You know what I'm saying? Follow the money. Where the people
but they made it though. I'm sorry, D. I don't mean to cut you off. No, but they made it though. You know, that's what I'm saying. Like, again, it's gonna take a sacrifice, right? Because like you look at John Morant. John Morant went to a black school, and not because you know I wouldn't say I don't know John Morant, right? I don't know him personally, but you know he wasn't heavily recruited, right? But when he got to school, he made a name for himself, okay, and you know, and now he's like, you know, he's one of the better point guards in the league, right? But he put that school on the map, right? So my thing is this: if guys take chances, if we take chances on ourselves, then we can generate that wealth in that school and make that program what it's supposed to be. Because think about these schools; it's predominantly us. These big schools are predominantly us. So my thing is this: I get it. That's a big sacrifice. That's a big ask for you know, an up and coming blue chip guy that's, you know, who's sacrificing everything and putting everything on the line, you know, for his family or whatever have you, going to school and trying to make something of himself, getting into the league or whatever have you. That's a big ask. But I think, you know, the talent speaks for itself too. You know what I mean? Like, these guys will get recruited. They will make the league. I mean, you know, it is what it is.
All right. So let me push back on something that you said. Do you think John Morant got big time offers and chose the HBCU?
No. I think
so he didn't take a chance on himself. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's good enough to get to the league. Go ahead.
Right. He didn't. No, you're right. He didn't take a chance. It just happened that way. You understand what I'm saying?
Correct.
You know, so I take that example, and yeah, I'm not giving him props for it, right? You know, like don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying it's just an example to say, okay, well, it's possible. You understand what I mean? Guys like that, you know, because their talent speaks for itself, right? You know, that's all.
Who generally wants to do things the hardest way? Who do you know wants to do things the hardest way?
Yeah, right. It is tough.
Like, I mean, if you have a chance to. It is your responsibility to yourself and your family to do the best thing for yourself and your family, right? Now, if going to an HBCU and building up that HBCU is best for yourself and your family, then you should absolutely do that. Build your legacy, do whatever you could do. But if going to Duke is going to get you into the first round or make you a blue chipper, you got to follow the money, bro.
I know, and I feel you 100%. But my thing is this: I guess it's easier said than done because I'm old over the hill. I'm a crusty fart now, right? But it's one of those things where I see it when we talk about family. What is family? And I'm trying to create that. You know, when I look at my brother, I see myself. You understand what I'm saying? So, with that being said, I think I think that I'm trying to build something greater than just that immediate family. You understand what I'm saying? And be able to take back control. I mean, that's what it's really about. Again, we have the talent, and then we're being utilized. We're being exploited for it. I'm saying we take it back. If we take back that, because I mean, think about this, D. What do we offer to this country? Right? Sports and entertainment. Right? That's what everybody sees, right?
I mean, I hate that statement. I hate that statement.
I get it, but no, I'm talking on the surface. I'm talking about how we're viewed, bro. I'm not talking about what we see and what we know. Of course, we know better. I'm talking about what's being thrown at us, right? That stereotype.
It's a low hanging fruit.
Right, but if that alone we take control back of, I mean, we can take back that economic power. You understand what I'm saying? That alone, that little small piece. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how they're creating economic growth off our backs. That's all I'm saying.
Listen, here's my take on that. Right, I totally believe that HBCUs can be successful. Right, but it is up to what I think it is. I think it is unfair to ask an inner city kid, right, with this one chance to do something, right, to take that risk, right? The kids who should take that risk are those kids who were 2 or 3 generations ago from the inner city. Their parents have made it, right? They're not suffering, right? And now you can take a chance on doing something because you're prepared now to go to the league, right? If LeBron's son went to Howard, he'd still go to the league.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
Right?
I feel you on that.
So I think it is unfair just to say all right, well, you from the inner city, help the nah. There's a lot of wealthy people who went to HBCUs whose families aren't in a bad place. You know what I'm saying? Why not? Those are the kids who you want to say, oh, my dad went to a HBCU. He's a lawyer, but I wanted to do this, or he's a doctor. So I'm going to continue the legacy at this HBCU and build it up. And I can still probably go to league and bust it. So I just don't feel like we got to put the pressure on these young inner city kids who this is their only shot. This is their only shot, bro. And if you go to school if you go to school that don't got a good athletic program and you twist your ankle or you make an injury and they don't got the right sports therapist, so like it could be the end of your career. You go to the right school, you can continue. I mean, it's.
Yeah, it's a tough call. I agree with you 100%. But I mean, nothing will change. Okay, go ahead.
Because I think in this forum, I'm the only one that went to HBCU. I went to Morehouse. Not undergrad. I went to Morehouse for grad school. And no disrespect to Morehouse, but athletics is one thing, but how about academics, right? My experience at a HBCU, no disrespect, all the white people that's watching, don't use this as your platform to stand on and say the black colleges is trash because the black guy said it. But my experience at Morehouse was trash, right? The school was dirty. The dorms. Well, I didn't even stay in the dorm, but I saw the dorm rooms. The dorm rooms were, next to unlivable. And this was a grad program. You feel me? It was ridiculous. It was ghetto. It was ghetto. Now I'm not trying to say that Morehouse is on par with, like, say, a Howard. Howard is like number 2 HBCU in the nation. Spellman is number 1. I think Xavier is number 3. My point is this, though, man. There tends to be, so I think all three of us know this. There tends to be like this black thing that happens. When you patronize a black business, you kind of expect like the AC not to be working. When you patronize a black business, you kind of expect them to not open on time. Patronize a black business, you kind of expect certain quality not to be there. That's a bad thing to say, but I think we've all experienced this shit. It's the same thing with a lot of HBCUs. So I think it goes deeper than athletics. I think let's put it like this. The first HBCU, you called it, Dave. It was started by a philanthropist, a white philanthropist, Richard Humphreys, I think his name, a Quaker. You know when that was? 1837, my nigga. Before slavery even ended. 1837, up in Pennsylvania. There is no reason why our HBCUs should still be trash, bro. I got my master's degree in 2006. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no reason why HBCUs should be trash.
So
when it comes to the athletic, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
No, I want you to finish. Yes, yeah, thought. And I got to try.
And then so that's one thing, the whole like ghetto-ness of it. The other thing that we're talking about, the athleticism, right? The athletic department. I agree with you. D. We can't expect these kids to spoil their meal ticket because they want to uplift the black race. They got to get it first. I get that. What I think is, I think it's a deeper issue. I think that the NFL or like the major league, they are not going to shine a light on black athletes that come from black colleges. They are not going to be going there looking for athletes. And I think kids know that. I think kids know that. It's not just that the program isn't good. They don't feel like they're going to really be seen. And I think all right. This will give me what you got.
That's false. All right. So I'm gonna give you 2 things. So the first thing that you said about schools and academics and all the other stuff.
Hey Jay, make sure you're doing that fly, bro. My bad. Make sure you're doing that fly. There you go. Yeah, you want to turn?
I'm good, right?
There are many. Most schools, campuses suck. Just so you know, right? If you went to Brown, Harvard, Cornell, and looked at how the undergrads lived, you wouldn't believe it's a freaking Ivy League school. It's just a fact. It's just a fact, right? Yes, some will have a nice building. Yes, some donor gave some money, they built something new. But school facilities for students, most of the time, are trash, right? All the money goes into teachers, programs, and athletics if they have an athletic program, and maybe buildings with facilities, right? My homegirl daughter took a visit to I don't know, Harvard or Brown. She's a Black boarding school alum as well. Black boarding school alum. And she said when she walked into the building, into the dormitory where they were gonna be staying, it's like, I thought this was an Ivy League. Like, who could live like this? I think it was Harvard, bro. And I'm telling you, son, like, don't always judge a school by maybe what their living situations look like, because they're going to be trash most of the time, 8 times out of 10.
That makes sense.
As for can't find athletes, yo, bro, it is you have to also realize that the NFL, the NBA, it is a job, right? It is a career, it is a business. And if you believe in the fucked up business of capitalism like I do, right? It's a fucked up business, but it is a business. You want to find the best for the cheapest. If you could find an athlete, if you could find a good athlete, they literally hire people to do this, bro, to go out and find athletes that no one else would be looking at. Get half the NFL are undrafted or high draft picks. Half. And if you could fill your roster with 6, 7, 8 round draft picks, 7 round draft picks, and free agents, half your roster like that, you save money, because now you could pay the quarterback the $500 million that Mahomes is getting to stink it up this year. Right? So you gotta understand, they will find you, bro. They will find you. If I'm not mistaken, 2 of the best athletes that ever played the sport went to HBCUs. That's Peyton and Jerry Rice. I think they both went to HBCUs, right? And Walter Payton, the running back and the receiver. They will find you, bro.
Let me ask you one more question. All right? Because Dave made a really good point about like successful HBCU alums, right? Saying that they do give the money back to the school, but they don't give it to the athletic program.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because of our first conversation that we had about like how college football, college sports period, especially college football, is big business. What do y'all think? I mean, we got Oprah, we got Taraji P. Henson, we got we got Toni Morrison, we got P-Diddy, we got Dave, you'll love this. We got Common. Common went to HBCU. I think he went to Florida A&M. Erykah Badu with the Grambling. Like, so do you think, since we know that college athletic programs can fuel the academics as well, can fuel the campus, do you think that these higher up Black people who graduated from HBCU should filter money not just into other programs, maybe they should filter money into the athletic programs as well? What do y'all think about that?
That's kind of what I was just saying about to Dave. Like, why would Oprah want to give to the athletic program? Why would Taraji P. Henson want to give to the athletic program? If I was Taraji, I would want to make sure my HBCU had a good theater program. If I was Oprah, I would want to make sure they had a good media program, right? You're going to get to what you care about, 1, and 2.
Right.
And 2, you also have to believe in the system, right? The thing with
this is the reason why. Because the theater program is not going to generate income the way that the athletic program is. So it's an investment. It's not just putting your name on the theater because you gave them money. It's investing money that's going to make money. It's going to make more money.
Banking on potential. Right. You're banking on potential. It's over like right now with sports. Right. Sports is like instant gratification right now in your face. Paraphernalia, ticket sales, whatever have you. Or like, like I said, you have the scientists. You know what I mean? Like you're betting on a better future. That's all. You know what I mean? When you put money into that kind of thing. So that's why it's tough. It's a tough sale. I get that.
Yeah,
Hey, do your head cut off, man.
Once again, you're asking someone to give to something that they don't care about. Like you're investing into the school by giving to the theater program. You're investing in the school by giving to the journalist program, right? You're asking people to do something for a whole other reason that they don't care about. And that's kind of where people go wrong. And Black people, white people, Jews, Indians, you want other people to care about the things that you care about. And that's just not how it works.
Right.
That's just not how it works. Right.
You're 100% right. 100%.
Absolutely right about that.
So speaking on that, I had a debate on, well, not a debate, but I was talking to the wife about that, as far as cancel culture is concerned. And we're canceled for saying things, you look at Dave Chappelle, you look at all these things. He's being, kind of just ran over the coals in the media because, he had this, I guess, transphobic or homophobic stand-up. And the thing is, what happens with us? Why don't we cancel things like when they talk about selling drugs in our community and killing each other? When our hip hop artists are talking all of that stuff, why don't we? You know what I'm saying? Is it because that's not something that we care about, or what is it? Like, what is that? Why is it that we don't take action on things like what I mean? Like I said, remember Rick Ross? Rick Ross was canceled because Rick Ross was canceled because yeah. Right, so Reebok took their sponsorship, all of that, but yet he's still talking about, pies and coke and all this other stuff and killing each other. Like, I mean, how come, where's the, you know what I'm saying? So again, my bad, I went off on a tangent, but that triggered me a little bit when you said something about what we care about, what we put emphasis on. You know what I'm saying? In the type of things that we should be putting emphasis on. My bad, man.
Simple answer. No, but that's I won't say simple answer, but that's a direct answer to that too. And the answer is power brokers, bro. You gotta understand who has the power brokers.
Okay.
Who is in power to actually do that, right?
Right.
We are the instruments in the sports and entertainment, right? But we don't control it. We don't control the media. We don't control these other things, right? So in order for you to cancel something, you have to control how you're going to cancel it. You know what I'm saying? And we just don't have that. We're not power brokers, or we don't have the power brokers on our side for our causes.
There you go. Yeah. That's better said.
Right.
That's better said, right?
Y'all some smart fellas, man. Y'all some smart fellas. We could do this the rest of the morning, man. But hey, I think I got a good one on this set. Let's move on to the last bit that we got, and also,
y'all want this?
Yeah, man. Let's get it. All right, man. I'm ready. All the smoke, bro.
I don't want nothing. I don't want nothing to sign the honest. I don't want nothing. I don't